Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into Bertrand Russell's groundbreaking work, The Analysis of Mind. This book, published in 1921, explores the intricate relationship between psychology, philosophy, and the nature of consciousness. Russell, a Nobel Prize-winning logician and philosopher, guides us through a complex landscape of thought experiments and scientific observations. Let's uncover 10 key lessons from this profound work that still resonate almost a century later. Now, we often think about the mind and body as two separate entities, right? It's a common belief that our thoughts and feelings exist in a different realm from our physical bodies. Like some kind of philosophical roommate situation, where the mind and body coexist but don't really interact. But Russell challenges this idea, this Cartesian dualism, which was popularized by the philosopher René Descartes. He argues that the mind isn't floating out there in some ethereal realm, disconnected from the physical world. Instead, it's very much a part of our physical being. Instead, he emphasizes that mental phenomena are deeply rooted in physical processes. Our thoughts, emotions, and consciousness are all tied to the workings of our brain. Think about it. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, is the result of neurons firing in your brain, chemicals coursing through your nervous system. These processes are incredibly complex and fascinating. Your consciousness, that sense of self, arises from these intricate biological processes. It's a dynamic interplay of countless neural activities. It's not some magical, mystical thing. It's the product of your very physical existence. Understanding this connection can change how we view ourselves and our experiences. We look around us, and we think we're seeing the world as it truly is. But Russell throws a cosmic curveball our way by pointing out that perception is not reality. It's our brain's best guess, an interpretation of sensory data. Imagine you're looking at an apple. You see its redness, its roundness. But those qualities, those perceptions, are constructed by your brain based on the light waves hitting your eyes. They're not inherent properties of the apple itself. Our experiences, our biases, our memories, they all color our perception, shaping how we see the world. Let's talk about memory. Not just remembering where you left your keys, but the fundamental role memory plays in shaping your consciousness. Russell argues that our sense of self, that continuous thread running through our lives, is woven from the fabric of our memories. Think about it. Without memory, we wouldn't be able to connect past experiences to our present moment. We'd exist in a perpetual now, with no sense of who we are or where we've been. Memory provides the glue that binds our experiences together, creating a coherent narrative of our lives. Chapter 4. Emotion, the body's symphony of survival. Emotions. They can feel so overwhelming, so powerful. They can take over our minds and bodies, influencing our thoughts and actions in profound ways. But Russell urges us to consider their evolutionary roots. He invites us to look back through the annals of time, to understand how these emotions have been shaped by the forces of natural selection. He suggests that emotions are not simply feelings, they're deeply intertwined with our instincts and behaviors, honed by millennia of natural selection. These emotions have been crucial for our ancestors' survival, guiding their actions in critical moments. Fear, for example, triggers the fight or flight response, a physiological cascade that helps us survive in dangerous situations. This response prepares our bodies to either confront the threat or flee to safety, ensuring our survival. Love, on the other hand, drives us to connect, to form bonds that are essential for raising offspring. These bonds create a support system, ensuring that our young are cared for and protected. Understanding the biological underpinnings of our emotions can give us a new perspective on why we feel the way we do. It allows us to see our emotions not just as random feelings, but as integral parts of our survival toolkit, finely tuned by evolution. Chapter 5. Language, the scaffolding of thought. We use language every day, but how often do we stop and think about its profound impact on our thoughts? Russell argues that language isn't just a tool for communication, it's fundamental to the very structure of our thoughts. Language provides the categories, the concepts, the frameworks through which we understand the world. Think about it. Without language, could we even conceive of abstract ideas like justice or freedom? Language allows us to move beyond the concrete, to reason, to imagine, to build complex mental models of the world around us. Chapter 6. Consciousness. A river, not a rock. Consciousness. It's that elusive quality that makes us feel alive, aware, present in the world. But what exactly is it? Russell challenges the notion of consciousness as a static thing, a kind of mental substance. Instead, he proposes that consciousness is a process, a constant flow of mental events. It's like a river, constantly moving, changing, evolving. Our thoughts, perceptions, emotions, they're not separate entities, but interconnected aspects of this dynamic stream of consciousness. Now, let's talk about behaviorism, a school of psychology that emerged in the early 20th century. Behaviorists argued that psychology should focus solely on observable behavior, not on internal mental states, which they considered too subjective. Russell, while acknowledging the limitations of behaviorism, found value in its emphasis on studying the relationship between stimuli and responses. By observing how organisms react to their environment, we can glean insights into the workings of the mind, even if we can't directly observe its inner workings. Where does knowledge come from? Russell, ever the empiricist, argues that all knowledge ultimately originates in sensory experience. Think about it. Everything you know, everything you believe, is built upon a foundation of data gathered through your senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. But here's the catch. Our senses aren't perfect. They can be fooled, and our interpretations of sensory data are influenced by our existing knowledge, biases, and expectations. Do we really have free will, or are our choices predetermined? This question has puzzled humanity for ages, making us wonder about the true nature of our existence. It's a question that has vexed philosophers for centuries, and Russell doesn't shy away from its complexities. He dives deep into the intricacies of human thought and behavior. He acknowledges that we have a strong sense of agency, a feeling that we are in control of our decisions. This sense of control is powerful and often guides our daily lives. But he also points out that our choices are shaped by a multitude of factors beyond our conscious awareness, factors that we might not even consider in our decision-making process. Our genes, our upbringing, our past experiences all play a significant role in shaping who we are and the choices we make. The social and cultural norms that surround us also influence our decisions, often in ways we don't immediately recognize. So, while we may experience the illusion of free will, the reality is far more nuanced. Our sense of freedom is intertwined with a complex web of influences, making the concept of free will both fascinating and elusive. So, we've explored many facets of the mind, but what is the mind itself? Russell, in his characteristically insightful way, suggests that we should think of the mind not as a thing, but as a process, a series of interconnected events. Imagine a constellation of stars. Each star is a distinct entity, but together they form a recognizable pattern. Similarly, the mind is a constellation of perceptions, emotions, thoughts, and memories. These events, linked together by the threads of causality and association, create the experience of being a conscious self. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Bertrand Russell's The Analysis of Mind, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insightful content. Russell's work, though published in 1921, still offers profound insights into the nature of consciousness, perception, and what it means to be human. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know which lesson resonated with you the most. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of the mind.